Hey guys, you are now enjoying the world's jankiest shit ever when it comes to filming because I left my tripod in my car and my response to that is to put my webcam on my hat bill. And if I hadn't told you and just filmed from behind it, you probably wouldn't have noticed, but this is funnier. Muy funnier. Yeah. Anywho, what we're doing today, we are going to fix the Mario and Luigi Year of the Luigi 30th. I almost said 25th, but it's the 30th anniversary edition 3DS. As you recall, I got this in a bundle and it was all chewed up, but we're going to go ahead and fix that today. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how we're going to fix it and how we're going to do it correctly. Man, this thing is trying to focus too close and then it tries to focus too far. It has no white balance. This is going to suck. But anyways, this is what I got. It is a package from a gentleman in California. Inside the package, an entire Year of the Luigi shell. Now, his ad says that he recycles cases, so this is an actual Nintendo case, so he claims. We'll find out in about 2 seconds when I show you the inside of it. But it's put together, all the buttons are there, that's nice to have. However, I don't need any of that because all we're doing is just the shell on this one because the system itself works. It's like two baby birds lost at birth. And yes, I do understand the ridiculousness of this because watch. It goes on forever. Can you imagine having to deal with that many of me? Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, it is what it is. So let's get on to the repair. First thing I like to do is get some paper. Actually, it may even help stabilize the white balance. We'll see. No clue. Might not. Yeah, well, it's doing okay. Then you get the system that you're going to take apart. Then you get your screwdriver set. Precision screwdriver set is preferred. The back is the easiest simple thing to take off. Number one, pull out your stylus and any cards that you have in the system. I don't have a game in there, didn't care to. So, take your screwy driver. Yes, that's the cable for the camera. Camera cable. Stable cam. And your and a Phillips bit for the back. Right, Phillips? Yes, but you need a much smaller one than that. But that's okay. We have a precision set. That allows us to do it the right way. I will admit that while I like disassembling and repairing systems, I'm not a huge fan of doing the 3DS. Doing it. Because there's a couple of things about it which are much more complicated than the comparable 2DSs that are out there. In effect, the biggest problem I have with it is the fact that the double ribbon cable goes underneath the board, plus you have your analog stick. So I don't need to fully disassemble this system, so I'm not going to. Again, using mini Phillips screwdrivers. So don't know how well you can see it. Yeah, the silver screws there, those need to come out. Well, the good news is that this system has never been apart before because the screws are very, very well ensconced. I just used a big word, $3 word. Not sure if it's at the beginning of this recording or the previous recording, but I am filming this in 1080p off of U, and this is only filming in 720p because it's only a 525. Had it been a 720 or whatever the next model up was, it would be a 1080p. Who's your daddy? I don't know. He left before I was born. Shut up, Grandma. And since I'm going to be in here, I may change the shoulder buttons as well, so at least they're prettier. Do not like this screw. Said no guy ever. So after you remove those 4 screws, you do have to remove 2 screws there as well as that screw there, which holds down the game cartridge slot area. Before I go much further, I'm going to flip over this cover and use that to hold the screws. I should be using trays, but that's okay. I pretty much remember where every screw goes. And every screw I've ever had. It's only dirty if you think it is, kids. There you go. Pop that out. Should be using something more appropriate for that. Then go ahead and remove these screws. We at Nintendo want to make sure that the ability to remove screws has been severely limited by the size of the end of the screw. Once you remove all the screws, so let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you should be able to just, yep, there you go. That is just the ribbon cables for the bumpers here. One always tends to pop off. It was because of the new design they went with. It actually moved the bumpers up into the back plate, which is actually more like the original DS. So go ahead and just pop those off and set them aside. Again, I'm not going to fully disassemble this system. I am going to blow it out though. I will say, due to the abundance of dog hair in the system, like that one, that I do believe that in fact he did have a doggy, a doggo, a pupper. Yeah. Anyway, grab your new shell, and I'm going to grab the new shoulder buttons while I'm in here. One tip is to have yourself some pliers with you, or tweezers, and I didn't grab mine because I'm a dumbass. Also, I wasn't expecting the package to show up today, so I wasn't ready to film this, but I said, screw it, let's film it. Okay, so now you have the back reassembled, right? So you need to go ahead and put that onto the system. I know most people would actually do the entire thing first, but I don't feel like it. I'm going to do it this way. I am going to have to take the hat off so that I can properly align these tabs because it's too heavy on my head. So I've just set the back in place, back, because I'm going to have to actually get in here and take this piece off again, but I want to put a couple of screws in there to make sure it doesn't continually pop off. So yeah, don't pop off, yo. I apologize to all my viewers. Well, shit, that was easier than I expected. Goody for me. Now you're going to start putting all the other screws back in there. Before you go too much further and start buttoning it all the way up 100%, go ahead and pop a battery in, flip it over, and power it on and make sure that you didn't break the system. Hello, computer. Make sure that the buttons still work. As you can see, they do. They work fine. Alright, so let's continue on. Power off the system again. I'm going to take the battery out just because I'm going to be working on the top screen, and I don't need any kind of issues from me doing that. But I am going to finish putting on the little additions like this screw that goes into the video game slot. This is where tweezers would be so welcome right now, kids. It would also help if I didn't have the hands of a strangler. I used to be so dexterous. I'm just going to pop this back on here for right now, just so I can set it down. But doesn't that look a million times better already than... I don't know where I did with it already. What did I do with it? How do I do? Oh, it's right there. Old, janky, busted, bitten, new, unbitten. Good buttons. All right, moving on to the top. When you're looking at the system, you'll see in the corner here you have 4 spots where, well, one of them's already missing. How convenient. Where you need to pop those off. Easiest way to do that is using an X-Acto knife. If you don't have an X-Acto knife, get an extremely small flat tip like this. It's bent because I was using it before as a pry tool. I don't really care if I damage these because I can replace those pretty damn easy off of like a DS Lite that's in my box of DS Lites. You know, where I keep my DS Lites. You mean you don't have a box of DS Lites? Why don't you have a box of DS Lites? You should have a box of DS Lites. All the cool kids have a box of DS Lites. Go buy yourself a box of DS Lites. Do it right now. I'll wait. Okay, so we've exposed those screws. Now what probably happened is I'm pretty sure that my buddy who has his own shop tried taking this apart at some point on his own and gave up when he saw the complexity of doing it. That's fine. Everybody has to learn their lessons. You have to know your limitations. I don't know what my limitations are, and if I do, I blatantly ignore them. This is actually going to be way easier than the bottom was because I don't have to actually change the entire upper base just to upper base. Huh. That sounded redundant, but I don't have to change the entire upper thing just to do this. So once you get those screws out, it should, in theory, just come right off. Let's see here. It's been a while since I took one of these apart, okay, Grandma? I'm not your grandmother. You ain't my grandfather. So you grip it, and you slide this piece forward as much as you can, which may be difficult due to the damage, but as you can see, it's moved a little bit. And it has actually separated on that side. So there we go. Since we're not reusing this one, it's okay if you break these little clips. You see these little clips here? If you break them, that's fine because you're not reusing it anyways. Oh, janky, janky, janky. Now, one thing that I wasn't anticipating is the slider for the 3D appears to have been damaged. But it does have the slider bit on the end. Okay, you see right there? That is the slider for the 3DS. Hopefully enough of it survived the mauling that we can actually get this to work. And the 3D slider is now officially broken. Yay me. Fuck me. Well, since this is my system, and I'm not going to use it until I can find a replacement anyway, I'm going to go ahead and slide that all the way down so I don't have to worry about the 3D being on, and I'm going to insert the control for the 3D slider, even though it doesn't actually work at this moment. The anger in my body is quite high right now. Oh, nice. The one he sent me is missing one of the lens covers, so we're going to have to pop that out. Luckily, they're just held in with tape. So go ahead and flip your lid over. Flip your lid, bitch hots. Go ahead and just pop it right in there. It's almost like you never lost it. Thanks for not sending it, dumbass. Make sure your slider's in the right position. Set the new cover down. And slide it back till you hear it snap. Slide it back forward because it didn't lock in right. Okay, there you go. So it's on there. Now the next step is to go ahead and reinstall the 4 screws. I know you've been filming for 34 minutes and I haven't been talking to you much. That's because I look like a dumbass. Oh, so much of this video will be played in fast forward. It is unbelievable how much of this will be played in fast forward. Alright, it didn't occur to me till the very end of everything that the microphone had stopped. Where is it? It's over there somewhere. But it had stopped recording audio. So I am forced to refilm this. As you can see, here is the completed item. Looks pretty good. Case fit nice. System works. All the buttons work. I cleaned some of the detritus out of it. I like using big words. So yeah, we're good to go in that respect, if it ever powers up. So if you have any comments, go ahead and leave them down there. If you have any comments, leave them down there. If you'd like to subscribe, go ahead and find that button down there somewhere. I heard that it was sleeping with your mother, so you should probably take it out by hitting it. Yeah, so unless you like the subscribe button sleeping with your mother, you should probably just, subscribe to my channel. That way it doesn't show up anymore at your house to fuck your mom. And I'll talk to you later.